Welcome everyone to a Galactic Astrology reading, going deep into the background of a client's soul history. You may remember Marie from earlier videos on this channel. This is a reading of her galactic natal chart and a small fraction of her soul history. You are about to hear a piece of Marie's reading that opened a new chapter in our understanding of the Arcturians. What came through in this session has never been shared before. As a soul, Marie participated in the creation of the Arcturians as a race. Before we begin, you need a quick sense of what galactic astrology is. This approach combines your natal chart with fixed stars and your galactic connections. You read your placements through the lens of star systems that carry history, memory, and influence. You also look at how those patterns shape your soul path. It gives you a deeper picture of who you are and why certain themes repeat in your life. It is especially useful when you identify as a starseed or sense that your story reaches beyond Earth. These readings highlight the energies that affect you right now. They show you how your past, your origins, and your soul mission. If you feel called to explore your own star connections, visit my website. For a limited time, you can receive a free galactic reading with any session. If you are a practitioner, you can request a swap session and experience an in-depth galactic reading for yourself. Now, let's begin the reading.
When I first tapped into your reading, we do the soul color first, and the soul color is really like a it's almost like our soul gifts and our soul like what sort of soul colors we have is like I guess our soul specialty because we're each like a different part of like source energy. So our soul colors really like reflect what part of like source energy we are. Like we're all made of these sort of different colors, rays of source light. So when I tapped into your soul colors, like the first sort of message that I got was that I like, I used my when I'm doing like my readings, I'm using more of those dragon energies to sort of connect to the Akashic records, connect up to the Akashic field. So it's sort of like, winds up there and then, like grabs the information and then, sends it back down to me. I'm sort of, experimenting with using like my dragon part of self in that way. And it's been really, really good because the information has been quite high frequency and quite
Yeah, I bet.
protected. Mm,
Yep, I love that. I love that energy. Mm.
mm, absolutely. So as I tapped into your soul color, I received the message like from, my dragon higher self that like I already knew what this was due to like your yellow gold soul colored dragons and like our connection with each other as members of like this golden Christ-like sort of team so that I already knew that you were part of this team that my soul is also on the same team so we sort
Yeah,
of
yeah,
have that connection and that you connect most with these golden crested dragons, the golden solar dragons. Like if you have recently I bought like that deck. I think that you have it. It's
the
the
Diana
dragon
Cooper.
the dragon
Yes,
oracle
yes,
cards. These ones. These
yes.
ones.
The Golden Chrysler Dragons. When I was pulling a card every day for 44 days because that's what they guided me to do. And there were certain ones that I kind of had a connection with all of them, but there were certain ones that were really connected, and the Golden
Mm,
Chrysler Dragons were the ones that went right
mm.
into my right into my soul. So
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
So there's a reason for that because it's
yeah,
it's like you're on this golden Christ-like team, especially with those dragon energies, and you
yeah,
connect most with those golden Christ dragons and like the golden solar dragons and also the golden Atlantis dragons, just those yellow
yeah,
and gold dragon energies and also like those like I guess the crystalline sort of yellow dragons too, like the illumination dragons, the wisdom dragons.
yeah,
It's like a combination of the two. So it's like got that golden Christ light, and then it's got that wisdom and illumination and like that Archangel Jophiel sort of energy, like
yeah.
that higher wisdom, higher knowledge.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
type of energy.
Yeah, the Atlantean dragons were the other ones that were, and I was told that when they came through, it was like I know them, they're me, I'm
Mm,
connected. It's very connected,
yes,
and yeah, and illumination. I love that word. It's
yes,
like
yes.
the whole energy of illumination is what I love. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's those sort of energies. It's like a combination of those energies. And the yellow ray is about like illumination, wisdom, the mind of source, the beauty and the knowledge behind creation. Its healing qualities that include like power, confidence, charisma, strong will, leadership. So these are all soul gifts that you have as part of these yellow ray energies. Like you've got clarity, humor, fun, joy, confidence, empowerment, self-esteem, and appreciation for the beauty and joy of creation.
Yeah.
So this ray is represented by Archangel Jophiel and especially helpful on the physical level for the solar plexus chakra, just all about that confidence energy, but also it can be like a transmuter for, this yellow gold energy for the crown chakra. So removing some of those like artificial, false
Mhm.
light sort of energies from the crown chakra and purifying that all the
Yeah,
way down.
I just did a class on that,
Mm,
literally like this week. And I was so lit up, like I love my classes, but this one particularly, I was like, yeah, let's do it. I was really like feeling it because it was all to do with that false energy attaching to people and
yes.
getting people back into their knowing, their power
Mm,
and it really means everything to me. So yeah, totally, totally
yeah.
resonant.
Yeah. So like the yellow ray is like excellent at also helping others to find their inner light because of this, when they've lost like all hope or they, really down on themselves, that with this ray that they can be illuminated to that and then they can be able to look around creation and see all of the beauty and all of the wisdom in their soul's history and like just that
Mm.
appreciation of the beauty of source light. So yellow ray souls are powerhouses of spiritual knowledge and have such a great reverence for the light.
Yeah, yeah. And it's
Mm,
funny you was talking about this Christ light because I literally have in my phone a message to go out. And
mm,
because it hit me last night, I was like, oh, I haven't spoken about Christ light. And it's like I connect every single day. And I suddenly
with
had
this
this
light.
drop in yesterday going, yeah, you just need to share that what you do each day. It's very simple, but just to
Mm,
share it with others so that they can also do it. So
mm,
yeah, it's very, very
yes.
timely.
So it's this part of this energy, this golden sort of energy that's the Christ consciousness as well. And the gold ray is like this powerful, masculine, sort of solar energy, and also like part of that Christ consciousness connected to the yang energy, the sun, the solar angels. This ray is connected through the crown chakra and the chakras above the head, like the stellar gateway chakra, like 30 centimeters above the crown of the head, like those higher chakras that
Yeah.
are outside of our earthly body. And this ray is actually very interesting because it clears parasitic energies and stops unwanted outside energy from interfering with us and influencing us. So it's a very important ray, allowing us to remain beyond corruption. The gold ray energy is very powerful as it has direct access to source. And we can understand our infinite nature through this ray, knowing that we are limitless and having that divine knowledge, enlightenment, and insight. And the Archangel Metatron and the Christ consciousness and other sort of other beings use this ray. I think the angel Jehudiel and cherubim Kerubiel and Acatriel, they're beings that serve this gold ray of source. And that gold is like that magnificence and glory, a very powerful ray sent to illuminate the earth at this time, and also representing that Christ consciousness, just being
Yeah.
that, very, very powerful combination of soul colors for like your soul mission and awakening.
Yeah. That makes so much sense because so I've been doing these remote clearings and it's quite a new service. I've been doing it behind the scenes, but as in a service. And it's almost like surprised me that, um, like, things are powerful, but sometimes you don't
Mm,
quite know how they work. And I was doing these remote
mm,
clearings and I've had so many emails sort of saying, um, like the effect it's had on them. And I thought, yeah, I was feeling that they were really powerful. There was something I couldn't even quite name, but you just saying that, it sort of dropped in now, and I understand. It's
Mm,
just all clicked in. Like, yes, this is what we're doing actually beyond, okay, we're
mm,
going to clear entities and attachments and the energy field. There's a higher light
mm.
that's
It's a higher light
holding
that's
all
coming
of
in.
it. Yeah. And it's like, because I feel amazing. Like when I do these clearings, I feel like, oh, I'm so happy to do them. It's
Mm,
like they're not draining. They're not, even though they're, I get tired because there's a few of them and then you're writing the reports up and stuff, and that takes time. But it feels like there's an energy that surpasses that, and it feels very, very high frequency, really good in my body. And
mm,
yeah, it sort of goes through the work. So yeah, it really, really makes sense what you've said. It's sort of clicked in
mm,
the bit that I didn't quite consciously know, but of course I did. I knew it on a
mm,
soul level. Yeah, I really resonate with that. Yeah,
mm.
yeah,
And as I looked into like your soul origins as well, this is like sort of like where you've come from, like as a soul into this universe, I guess. Of course, I think, like you'll very much resonate with that because when I like tried to like, dowse and check the energies of it, it was like square, right square in the middle between these ancient dragon energies and the angelic realm. So it was like this fusion of the two. And as we discussed before, you already know that you're like part of this golden Christ light and illumination dragons, bringing those energies of awakening and wisdom to the earth grid. But yeah, these higher dragons are part of the angelic kingdom, and I'm sure you've connected with them plenty of
yeah,
times before, but that's like part of your soul origin. And
yeah.
they're
I
very,
only learnt that this year.
yeah,
That's quite recent for me.
quite recent.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but they've made their presence very known. So it's like they've always been here, but it's
Yeah.
but it's like they're very yeah, you can feel those energies, but they're very familiar to me as well,
Very,
which
very
makes sense.
familiar. Yeah,
Yeah.
because this is where your soul comes from. And you can often see them like twirling and spiraling around the angelic realms, the elemental realms, and throughout the universe. It's like I sort of received this message once that the dragon energies are almost like this source energy that's like a movement. It's like this constant sort of movement. That's why they're like these
Mm,
spiraling type of energies. It's like represented by this movement. So at the very, very basis, that's, what the dragon energies are for me, this
yeah.
divine movement in a very, in the most abstract sense, but in the sense that
Yeah.
we know that they're the dragons.
Yeah.
Also, there's like this very much a feminine energy to them, like a divine feminine energy, like a very
Yeah.
goddess type of energy to these dragons, to a lot of these dragons. I mean, there's, probably there's masculine ones as well. There's masculine and feminine, but it's like, I don't know, just in general, like their energies are very like feminine, but in a very fierce sort of a way,
Yeah. Yeah.
divine
Because
way.
they are, yeah. Yeah, because it's almost hard to pinpoint. Because I was just sitting with that, going, does this feel like masculine energies, feminine energies? It feels like both, but there is
Mm. There is
yeah,
a
it's like hard to
a
define it.
moving sort of,
Yeah,
mother
yeah,
energy that, can
yeah,
go through everything.
yeah,
Yeah. And so like the dragon energies as well, sometimes like it also brings like a connection. Like there's the higher dragon energies, but also sometimes like I can see that there's like parts of that dragon energy that plays out in some sort of in the reptilian energies as well. So if you do have those dragon energies, naturally you do have like a connection to those energies as well on the lower levels. And it's like, those higher dragon
yeah,
energies are
yeah,
trying to pull up and ascend those lower parts of themselves so that they
yeah,
can be whole again.
yeah. I really resonate with that because I've always had this very, I'm not condone, I'd never condone any of, obviously what goes on this planet, but
Mm,
I can, there's an understanding that I have about it. So I often say it like in live streams or teaching, is that if you put yourself in their shoes, which I
mm,
seem to be able to, I can go into that side and go, well, if you were them, this is how you'd be trying to mess with humanity. This is how you'd be trying
mm,
to, use your lower energies to create chaos and things like that. So I have this understanding, and I, again, don't condone it, but yeah, I can see it from that
mm,
perspective. So that
mm,
helps me. It helps me. It also helps me. I don't go into fear about it. And it's why I can deal, like you can deal with like you're the same, you don't fear them when they come up in sessions, even if they're big, big ones, because you just understand that you have a connection, and then we can hold that energy. So that makes complete sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's like, you also have like that other connection as those beings, but also like, possibly like to other like reptilian and Draco collectives within this universe. There are positive Draco beings as well, and I've seen them like,
Yeah.
these beautiful like positive Dracos that, are from other galaxies. So, that could be like a connection as well.
Mm.
And so with the angelic realms as well, you know plenty about those already. So angelic souls are very large and can often send down small parts of themselves in order to have all of these different experiences at once. They can be very much parallel. They can be like this big soul that sends down all of these little bits to have all of these different experiences all at once. Like, when you
Yeah.
sort of get to that size as a soul, it's like, you're just sending down little fragments to, fulfill these little
Yeah.
missions. And then this bigger part of you that's outside of it all, as existing outside of all of these matrices and holographic
Yeah.
realities, is just looking down, and it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
what am I going to do there? Just looking down on it like a bird's eye sort of view.
Yeah. I'm getting more aware of that now. The last, say, couple of
Mm,
years, I've very much like I can feel that, I can sense that. Yeah.
mm,
And throughout our sessions, exploring fragments of that, aspect. So yeah, that feels a lot more normal now than it
mm.
did a couple of years ago.
Having various parallel
Yeah.
experiences. And
Yeah.
it's like, angelic souls are very old due to like they just seem old as souls, like as in like in the linear timeline sort of a way, but the linear timeline doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to tell, but it's kind of like because they have a lot of wisdom and experience is what I find, like a ton of wisdom and experience, because it takes like a lot of constant growth and evolution for a soul to become to that level where they can be very, very big and send down all of these different aspects of themselves. It's more of like, I wouldn't say that it's a soul age, it's more of like a soul expansion,
Mm.
because it's like you start out as like a smaller sort of little soul, and then you expand once you have all of
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
wisdom and experiences. That's just
That's
sort of
how I
popped in
see
for
it.
me.
Because that's why this whole aging bullshit,
Mm, mm,
it really annoys me down here because it's like they don't understand. I always feel like they don't understand that you're not measuring your life in years and what the lines are on your face. It's like the older you get, the wiser, the more
it's an
experienced, the more
expansion. Yeah.
expanded. It's like I get excited as the years go by because it's like another level on the planet, another level under my belt, and it's like
Yes.
they've got it all backwards here.
It is,
So,
it is all backwards because,
yeah, yeah.
we're always like, we should always be like expanding and learning new
Expanding.
things as we're getting
Yeah.
older. So yeah, you can have all of these different parallel experiences at once, and that's how you can, able to tap into all of these different timelines, because your soul is like, quite big and can have all of these
Yeah.
different experiences at once. And as I was like looking at your chart, so we're going to go into your galactic chart now, and where that is, you have like a few conjunctions to, like, you have a conjunction to the Great Attractor, you have a conjunction to Rasselhag, I think that's how you say it. You have a conjunction to Hadar, and we're going to talk about that, the Hadarian beings. You have like a conjunction to them, and you have like of course, conjunction to the Arcturus and Speaker. Those
Mm.
beings are, yeah, the Arcturians.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And you have like a conjunction to Algorab as well, and the supergalactic center. But we'll go into all of that and what it
I love it because I
means.
don't know any of that, so I'm excited.
Okay. So, like your galactic origins, I sort of look at first, like where the starting point is for your soul in this galaxy, because it seems like, we've had different experiences at some point, and then we decide to come in here from another place sometimes. Um, I haven't seen many people who have, I guess, been entered as a soul in this particular galaxy, but like ones that have come from outside of it. So when I looked into it, and with that conjunction to the supergalactic center, which is it's actually this galaxy that's known as Messier 87. So it's this much older galaxy that is known as the supergalactic center, and it's one of the largest and most massive galaxies found in our local area of the universe. So here's the Milky Way galaxy, and then there's like a much bigger one that's magnetizing all of this energy to it. So as I tapped into it, it was like you came from Messier 87, this galaxy, and you were looking at the Milky Way galaxy, having had all of these experiences, looking over here, being like, okay, let's upgrade to here now. I want to, go over here and assist. So after you had a lot of experiences in this, much older galaxy, known as Messier 87, and mastered existence in this pool of energies like a very, very long time ago. We're talking like ages and ages and ages ago in your soul history. You decided to look for more opportunities to be of service. And as I felt into the energies of the supergalactic center or Messier 87, I felt like that strong resonance that the game of life was once very challenging here too in the past, but the beings there have evolved now to a higher point, and they've gained a lot of wisdom, and many have transcended to higher densities now. So this being a much older galaxy than our galaxy, it's had a lot more experience, and the beings there, have gone from this one to that one. They've looked over
Right.
at that one and been like, okay, well, what can we do next? That sort of a
Yeah.
mindset. And the supergalactic center is conjunct your Saturn, indicating that this is a part of your responsibility and karmic journey, that you have made the decision to assist here in this Milky Way galaxy as an advanced soul with so much experience. As Saturn is in Libra, I saw that, I guess, like I felt into that you felt the need to see fairness here in the Milky Way galaxy. We're
That is a
looking over at
huge
this one.
theme for me. Yeah, that's what sort of led me into being a lawyer,
Mm.
before I did all what I do now. Like it's so deep in me. So that really strikes
So it
a
comes from
chord.
the beginning. It
Yeah.
comes from the
Yeah.
beginning. It's like you wanted to see this fairness in this particular galaxy. It's like you, as a soul, were looking over from that galaxy into this galaxy and being like, that's where I want to go next, because that's where all the action is. I'm kind of done
Yeah.
with, I'm done with, my learning here. I'm done with all of that because, it felt like, that there was a lot that happened when I felt into that galaxy. It was just like, wow, there's so much that has happened here. There's so much that has transpired.
Mm.
But like, we're at like a whole other level now. We've, ascended past. Like it's like that galaxy in itself has gone, yeah, we're more in unity and oneness now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
That's amazing. And that's also why I feel like I've never understood it. I've always known I've had it, but I have absolute rock solid conviction it will not move on the
mm,
fact that absolutely this earth, it feels very small, this earth
mm,
can ascend and will ascend, and that it's an inevitable part. And I never
mm,
worry about, oh my
mm,
God, we're seeing chaos, because I feel like I just understand that, of course, and the
You've
messages
already
have been
been through it.
consistent. Yeah, we've been through it, and it's just part of you have to get through the messy bits, but it's
Mm,
worth it. You will
mm,
get there. And I never sway from that. So what you're saying is, yeah, it's hitting very deeply, because I
mm.
feel like I know it. I just didn't know how I knew it.
Yeah, and it's very, very
Yeah.
deep, very, very ancient,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
this type of knowing. And the
Yeah.
supergalactic center is like, as you were like watching the Milky Way galaxy, it's like you came to bring balance to the intense energies of polarity that were playing out. That's what that fairness is all about, because there was a lot of polarity,
Hmm.
dark and light. And the supergalactic center is in your fourth house, like indicating like that this is quite like a homely environment for you, this Messier 87, this supergalactic center. So if you were to connect into it in the future and bring those energies in, like I feel like you would feel that it's quite like it feels almost like a home for you, like another home.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
message came through that if you tune into those energies of the supergalactic center, you'll once again feel those deep energies that feel like a home that you once had long ago, as your experiences in this galaxy were quite varied and you experienced so much.
Mm.
And so when you feel that calling, you'll know when to tap into that into that very early stage of your soul's history in that galaxy, at that time when you first felt the calling of your soul mission in this galaxy. So it's like,
So
the beginning of the soul mission
yeah,
in
yeah.
this very galaxy, because you've had a lot of, you've had a soul mission on Earth, but you have to remember for the entire, part that your soul is in this galaxy, you also have an overarching soul mission.
Yeah. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, and then
Mm,
you have bits of you drop off and then have other things going on,
yes.
but the overall, yeah, yeah, I get that. I feel very somehow as you're saying it, it's like remembering something I can't quite touch yet, and I know I'll come back to it, but
Mm,
it's there. Yeah. It feels very
the
warm and very,
overarching soul
yeah,
mission.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's
Mm,
very activating just hearing you say it,
mm.
speak it, and yeah, it's oh interesting.
Mm.
Interesting.
So like that time when you first felt that desire to join the soul mission in this galaxy that we live in now. And like I just have this feeling that it will be very, very deeply awakening for you when you
Mm,
decide to channel that or to,
yeah.
explore that in a session, but it will come in like good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Wow. I always
So
think, when you think you're sort of not that you've got there, but you feel like, okay, you've embodied like all of these, like had the
mm.
Arcturians, the angelics, and the dragons, and I've had all these changes, and then I've learned now to realize, don't even for one second think that's it.
Yes,
Like,
that's it. We're
don't
like,
even fall for
yeah.
that.
We're like a cornucopia of different energies that's all
Yeah,
spilling out all over the place.
yeah. To do it in stages because it's a bit much
It's
all in one.
it's it's big. It's big. The
Yeah,
soul is big. It's
yeah,
huge. You could fill
yeah,
libraries with how much information and
yeah,
activations that we have. So as I felt into like what you first started doing and looked at your chart, it was like I saw like upon coming into this galaxy and feeling into the energies here and knowing deeply as a soul what was about to unfold, I saw that you had like Arcturus and Speaker conjunct your Pluto, which is like a big indicator of which areas that you explored first as a soul, because it's sort of like out there in the in terms of our solar system, it's like one of the furthest. It's pretty much
mm,
like the furthest planet that we know out there. So your Pluto is in Libra in fourth house again, indicating that Arcturus was your first true home here in the Milky Way, and Pluto being about our challenges in life, but also what we can do to overcome those challenges. So it's like you decided here that, this is how I'm going to start to overcome the challenges by, settling into these Arcturian energies and building something here. This is how I'm going to help this galaxy. It's like, you began planning very early on. The
mm.
Arcturians are how I'm going to do it.
I do like to plan. Yeah.
So, like, as I felt into the energies of this strongly what had occurred, the message like just dropped in. It was like I got like a tingle that just radiated out through
Mm.
my body. That was like, you actually took the role of actually creating and seeding the Arcturian race from the very beginning of the history of this galaxy. And this is what I was so excited to tell you, so I sort of told you beforehand because I thought it was so
Yeah.
exciting.
I'm
It
glad
was
you
like
did.
it was
'Cause
like, oh, here's a
I,
special
I
gift.
I had to digest that. I was like, I'm so glad you did it because yeah, it's like I had time to kind of get my head around that, because that's a big
Mm,
concept. And I was sitting and I was like, it made so much sense because it's like I said, it feels not like responsible in a responsibility way, but I have this sort of like motherly thing around
mm,
the Arcturians, and they've been very clear from the beginning when I opened my channel specifically, and they were saying we're not we're not above you or
mm.
any of that. Like they were like very laughing about that, and now I get why they found that funny.
Yes, yes, because
Now I get it.
it's like you
Yeah,
as soon as you come into this galaxy, it's like the energies of you, or whichever lifetime that you're in at the time, you
yeah,
began to create these beings. Like very,
yeah,
very early on
yeah,
in galactic history, you were part of that, group that decided to create these beings, or like, one of the key members of that.
mm,
Like, it would be really interesting if you were to like find out more about that, because I believe that there's like a bigger story. I wasn't going to channel it like all exactly, because I think that
yeah,
you really need to find out for yourself more
yeah,
about more about the beginnings of your soul and
yeah.
how you created the Arcturians.
Yeah, that would be something to feel, and that would be probably a big story.
It would be a very big
Yeah, I'd
story.
explore that when the time is right, when that pops up, in a session or something.
Mm,
Yeah, I'd love to look at that.
mm. Yeah, this is where you have like such a strong connection to these beings, because you're literally part of their creation and bringing them into existence like a mother to their race. So it's like these beings were seeded as a helper race a very long time ago. It was like, I just sort of saw that they're an amphibian creature that was like lovingly tinkered with to produce the result that would be like a very loving, sensitive, and intelligent being. And this being that you took part in the creation of was going to be your way of bringing balance to the Milky Way galaxy, balance to the energies of the polarity that we're playing out here as a helper race that would, then in turn be able to help others.
Yeah,
So in the millions of years that were to come, that these beings were going to help other beings.
yeah, because they're so about service. This is what I love, and I love connecting with them and working through them and with them, and
Mm,
because they're just pure. We want to assist humanity,
mm,
like they
mm,
they understand when. Like I've had some people say horrible comments about Arcturians, which I found, as recently, like I found
mm,
very cutting, and I had to work through that. But they understand that, so they have
mm,
this like beautiful way of they
mm,
just they don't take it personally because they understand our level down here. But it's yeah, they're just so wanting to assist and help with wisdom and
mm,
love and frequency, and they literally just are at our service, down here, and
mm,
it's just that's what they're about, pure
mm,
love, which is
mm,
just beautiful when you connect with it. It's very
mm.
healing as well.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the reason why people get triggered so much with them is that they're like their energies are just like so clear and high frequency that they're sort of like a perfect mirror for people's shadows.
Mm. Yeah, they are. And they're very direct, but not in an abrupt way. They're just very direct. And we're not used to direct here
Mm,
because people wrap everything up with bullshit and white lies, and like it's very sticky, isn't it?
mm,
Whereas they're
mm,
just very direct. They'll just say it. And it is a mirror, especially with on the earth. So
mm,
I kind of get that as you and I have had conversations about that. I understand why there is a bit of an attack on the Arcturians because it's like,
mm,
no, don't be so direct, and we don't want that. We're
mm,
not ready, maybe we're not ready for that
mm.
energy, some
Yeah, we're
people.
not
So
we're not
yeah,
quite ready to be
yeah,
reflected
yeah,
our shadows and insecurities in
yeah,
that way, and
yeah.
traumas. So I guess like, the Arcturians were like, I guess that answer of what you were planning to do to meet the challenges presented in this galaxy. And then you decided to take, a more physical form. And then you decided to experience lifetimes amongst the early Arcturians. So it's like you seeded them, you took part in the creation of them, and then you came down as a soul to, of course, participate in their very early development. And they're, way into their history. It's like you've always been there. And these were some of your first ever physical incarnations. So experiencing life in those bodies that you lovingly helped to create. And as the Arcturians grew, you grew with them, guiding them gently and being amongst them. And as they evolved and gained much technological and spiritual advancement, you were there too. And you were there when they traveled, and you traveled with them as a soul to their new colonies, because they went here, they went there, they went and colonized other star systems in the Boats constellation. They traveled to Isa, which is another different type of star that you have in your chart as well. Like the white-colored Arcturians, they're from there, but you also travel with them to Spica, which is all the way over in the Virgo constellation. So they're sort of like, they're a bit like Arcturians, but they're, a different sort of energy, because it's like an offshoot of their race that like
Right.
colonize the different systems. So they do look different and they have a slightly different sort of energy, but it still feels very Arcturian. It's like they have these long, elongated sort of heads. They're like Arcturians, but their heads are much longer. They're like a big long sausage, and they're very interesting. So the Arcturian, this is why this star of Spica is actually always, when I see people's charts, Spica and Arcturus are like close together constantly. You always see those together. And I believe it's because they share that same connection, because they're essentially the same type of being.
Yeah, yeah.
They
That
come
makes it,
from
because
the
I remember
same.
you did a post once about speaker
Mm,
beings, and I got very, like, when you sort of,
mm,
certain things just resonate. And that one felt familiar, but I didn't really understand what it was. And I know you said that they were connected with the Arcturians. That made sense to me then. But yeah, it definitely felt they're very similar. They're different, but they're similar. They're of the same
mm.
kind of
Yeah.
family group,
They're of the
whatever.
same
Yeah.
family, the same type of amphibian type of being.
Yeah.
And the Arcturian speaking stars are sextile your moon, representing your emotional and spiritual state. And your moon is in the second house in Leo, which is all about your relationship to money and resources in your life. And with Leo coming into these energies, I feel that there's a creativity and generosity to your money relationship. And the more recent lifetimes that you've had, as indicated by your moon being connected to Spica and Arcturus as well, it's like you've been here with these beings for a very long time, and they are here to give back to you as a soul. And sextiles can be sort of viewed as outer gifts. So these beings are there to assist you, particularly helping you gather resources for your mission and connect you with the other souls that can help you as part of your mission. So they're like, beings that can bring, external gifts to you if you call
Yeah,
on them for
totally.
help.
That's what they've been telling me, and I've been understanding it bit by bit. And
Mm,
because a big theme for me in this life has been money,
mm,
resources in
mm,
general. Lots of challenge, but then as they sort of pointed out to me that the challenge is so that I can walk the path, because it's not that effective if you drop in and you have all
mm,
this wisdom and you teach it to others, but you can't show people that you really understand that journey. So this is why it was important. I will be writing books on it later, but like a lot of stuff around money and resources and craziness,
mm,
which is it's about healing. And now, as you know, I've got a very big drive to teach about money, which is why I got that
mm,
membership, just for that space.
mm,
It's not the thing that I lead with out there, but it's definitely a part of my
mm,
work, is to help people clean up this area around receiving and abundance and resources and money and all of this, because
mm.
it's so messed up on this planet. And in
Yeah.
spiritual communities, where a lot of
Mm,
people are taught that you mustn't receive to have your, use your spiritual gifts, and it's so distorted. So that's
mm,
a really, really key area for me,
mm.
which makes
Yeah.
sense.
Well, it's
Yeah.
literally like it's in your
Mm,
chart that, you receive
mm.
like those sextiles, so outside gifts
Yeah.
from these beings, from these
Yeah.
star systems. So it's all there.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. And you also decided to have lifetimes amongst the speaking beings that were descended from the Arcturians. So I thought it would be really fitting to like connect in with one of those lifetimes, just to give you, to show you some of these energies, and sh to show you some of these soul connections that probably haven't explored before, but maybe, you can explore
Yeah.
now knowing this, so you can decide whether to tap into them and explore more of those gifts from speaker.
Mm.
So as I like connected in, I saw that this like the speaking energies were a part of your soul that's very much connected to the Arcturian beings, like just a different type of Arcturian in another place. And they're those beings with the elongated heads. And it was like I saw that that part of you was actually already existing energetically in the now moment. So it's like another parallel part of you that's existing right now. And
Yeah.
as and it was like the speaking part was like talking to me and communicating with me. And the speaking part of you made me aware that it works with the Arcturian aspect of you. So it's like your two soul aspects work
Yeah.
together with each other, work together with you. It's like you're a big, sort of family.
Yeah.
Um, it was like the speaking part of you was like telling me that like it works with the Arcturian aspect of you, especially with like the timelines, infusing love and light into the timelines of this galaxy and the Earth. So
Yeah.
like that part of you is helping with the timelines as well. It tinkers and manipulates the timelines, but in like a loving way for the
Yeah.
highest good.
I had a dream, like a remembrance in my dream state when I woke up, and I saw myself doing it, and it was amazing. It was just lovely, and it was pulling, like literally pulling light
Mm,
into the timeline as if it was like a light, like kind of
mm,
representative, but pulling light into this timeline. It was a very physical thing, actually,
mm,
even though it was energetic, and it was yeah, it made me realize like what we're doing. And I've always been connected into timelines from
mm,
literally when I was like 5 years old. So that's
mm,
been a really massive part of me,
mm,
looking
mm.
at time,
And
time travel, timelines, all of that.
And we'll get into a bit of that too, because like the speaking being was like telling me that it was also like a creator that had taken part in seeding other star races as well. It appeared to be like very old or almost like timeless, or almost like, this being could constantly like be there, like, or it was still alive and existing in the now moment. I'm not sure how that works, but it was very interesting. Um, Energetically, they've evolved to be in many places at once, and like it explained to me that our consciousness, this was the bit that like sort of tripped my mind when I was speaking with this being. It explained to me that like our consciousness is like an infinite battery, and once you tap into that, that there are no limits onto what you can do. You can be in so many different places at
Mm.
once, and you can live for however long as you like in that particular timeline or lifetime. Um, and once you tap into that, that there are no limits to what you can do. And so it still exists right now and is a part of you that can be channeled. That was a
Yes,
very
this is what
important
they've been.
message that this
Yes,
speaking being wanted to tell me. She was like, she can channel me. She can, tap
yes.
into this and channel me right now.
Yeah, this is what I was told from my Arcturian team because they were saying it was after a session with you. I
Mm,
forget which one, but it was about, oh yeah, it was one hypnosis when I tapped into a future part of myself on another Earth timeline. It wasn't this one, but it was another one, and I
mm,
was working on restoring the Earth on the future of this kind of lower timeline. So it wasn't very good
mm,
for humanity, but I was cleaning it up, and the message there was you can channel these parts of you because they're in existence in physical now.
mm,
So each day when I kind of connect, I am not doing it specifically, but I'm just setting the intention that I'm gonna also channel through any aspects of my multidimensional self that's specifically tasked to help me on this
mm.
timeline. Otherwise, it's too overwhelming, to do like
It is
all
too
the, which
overwhelming.
is it
I've
would
got
be a
like a
bit,
punch.
yeah, I may be a bit ungrounded there, but no, just the sort of the ones that I can handle that are very
Mm,
specific to this mission that kind of
mm.
tie in. So that just as you said that, yeah, it was like message received.
This is
I got
received.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, especially this being, I feel like it's, the time is like soon to be sort of aware of this sort of
Yeah.
different aspect of the Arcturian energies, the speaking energies.
Yeah.
And the being told me that you'll recognize this energy, and as you felt it for some time during your childhood, it said
Mm.
that these beings like appear to you, but you may not remember consciously, but you can recognize their love and maybe even like recognize like their big heads that also have like this
Uh-huh.
halo around it. There was
Yeah.
something, they said that there was like something, they just showed me like a little kid's drawing. Like there was something that you drew a picture of or an energy that you recognized and received as a child that perhaps you tried to express around these beings. Like there was
Mm.
something that you tapped into very, very long ago that maybe you don't remember, but
Yeah. I
like
used to draw a lot. Yeah.
you
I
had a
don't anymore, but
remembrance of, yeah,
yeah.
one of these beings. Like you tapped into an energy there, and it's
Ah.
like you drew something or you connected to something and you were connecting in with those speaking energies.
Yeah, that will come to me. I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't
Yeah.
quite remember, but I remember what I used to do is I used to draw repetitively. So if I
Mm,
like had an owl, I would just draw it all the time, or I'd take
mm,
something and draw it all the time. So
mm.
yeah, I feel like that's circling. I'll
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah.
Like I sort of, they showed me this drawing. And it was like, like a smiley face sort of being, but with like a something around the outside of its head that looked like a had like a big head or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
It was very childlike, and then they said that you recognized them, and it was
yeah.
something to do with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Oh,
and like you tried to express something that you knew or felt around these beings because it was like they did like, visit you at one time.
yeah. I feel them now. I feel like a lot of love all around me, like
Mm,
very, very, very,
mm.
very around me now as you're speaking. So yeah, I'm sure that I'll connect with them probably later today because
Yes.
they don't hang about Arcturian types. Um, yeah, yeah, I can feel that.
Mm.
Uh, Interesting. Ah,
Yeah, like as this being was talking to me, it said that they are ready to be tapped into and channeled now because it's like the Arcturians, but a slightly different flavor to it, and they're still very fun loving and humorous, just like them.
yeah.
But the being explained, as soon as I talk about this, it will be so familiar to you that you'll instantly
Yes.
tap into it again, and the energy exists in your higher heart already that brings you this joy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel that. I feel as you're speaking, it's like, when you have a dream and you can't quite remember it and then you remember it. I
Mm,
feel like you're telling me the dream that I can't quite remember. And now I'm going, oh yeah. Yeah, I think I remember that. So it's definitely waking that up. So I believe that we're only morning, so I believe that will happen today because I
yes,
can
and what
almost feel
happened
it now.
today? Yeah, it was like they were like, we want to come in as
Yeah,
soon
yeah.
as
That
possible.
that will not be tomorrow. That'll be today. Okay, so we'll do that later. I'll have breakfast and stuff first, and then
Yes.
and then we'll do that.
And then tap into the
Yeah.
speaking energies because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
they're ready to come through and bring you that
Yeah.
next that
Okay.
next activation,
Yeah, okay. And I want
lining
to know
up at
what
the
they're
door.
yeah, I want to know what they're assisting me with as well, which is slightly different to the Arcturians, or whether they're just
Mm,
part of the same. They're just like, hello, we're here. So we'll see.
mm,
Yeah, I did know that I have a very big team who I'm
mm.
going to consciously connect with. So it seems to be growing. Definitely
Yes.
seems to be growing. And I guess you can hold it more because I couldn't have held all of that 3 years ago.
Mm, mm,
So they sort of come in stages. Yeah. Yeah, I love
mm.
it. I can
Okay.
feel them.
Come in stages, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
They're
yeah,
very happy. There's a lot of happiness, like yeah, I can feel it. It's like, yes, okay, it's time, let's do it, that kind of thing.
yes.
They're quite
Yeah,
funny as well.
I feel it too. Yeah, no, I love
Oh,
the speaking beings. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, they're brilliant.
Mm. So moving on from the speaking beings, of course
Yeah.
you'll go back to the
Yeah, yeah,
speaking
yeah.
beings after all of this because they're ready.
Yep.
So it's like after your seeding of the Arcturians and experiencing those gentle lifetimes in physical bodies, you decided to like move on to Lyra and experience like lifetimes there. So this was like in Sulafat of Lyra. So it's like the tiger beings, the beings that look like those tiger sort of beings. And that was a part of your chart as well. That was a connection in your chart. So after you had all of that experience with the Arcturians and it was quite gentle and sort of preparing you, and then you started having lifetimes in Lyra. Then you started to experience some of those conflicts that you'd prepared for. So in the form of the Lyran Draconian Wars, when you took lifetimes as some of those courageous tiger beings from the star Sulafat and Lyra. And the ring nebula from Lyra and Sulafat is squared in your chart in Pluto, so early soul history, indicating like that there was just some challenges there. As this polarity started to really occur in this galaxy, that you, I guess, you came here to eventually balance, became very challenging to be in that polarity. And this would have been a period where you came into those challenges as Pluto's in your fourth house, indicating challenges within your home environment. I felt like into that strongly, that in Lyra that you had like your home destroyed at one point, so that you were part of that galactic historical event of traveling to other planets as your home in Lyra became destroyed by the reptilians.
Right, yeah, yeah. Do you know that makes sense because I haven't had any hypnosis recalls of that, but when
Mm,
I've facilitated those sessions for
mm,
others and for you,
mm,
it's really I've connected with it. It's almost like, especially with yours, when you've gone on all your journeys, I feel like it's very familiar to me as you're saying these things. It's like I know this experience. I just feel like I
mm,
really relate to it. So that, yeah, that's I didn't know about that connection consciously to Lyra. That's why I love your book. I've been reading your book and like like lapping it up and feeling very connected with it. So that makes total sense.
mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah.
So after Lyra, it's like from then on, like your soul traveled to Orion, like sort of early on, knowing what polarity would unfold there next. So you decided to incarnate in a few lifetimes as the mermaid beings of Mintaka. And I felt into
Yes.
this as you were, yeah, you went to Orion to become, yeah, those mermaid beings before
Yeah.
the Draco Reptilian Empire took control over the mermaid's home and destroyed it. So here, very early on in your galactic story, it's like I felt into that you were seeding codes of unity consciousness in the Orion planets around the stars of Bellatrix, Mintaka, Alanam, and around the angelic stargate of the Orion Nebula. So I got the message that you seeded these codes long before the Draco and Reptilians arrived to conquer and colonize Orion with their own hybrids and colonies. So it's like you were part of the native Orion energies before all of that other stuff arrived here, long before Draco and Reptilians arrived. So you were seeding these codes as the original benevolent and loving inhabitants of Orion before these beings, the
Hmm.
Mintakan mermaid beings were genocided and taken away from their native homes. So there were many gentle aquatic beings amongst the stars of Orion during those times, including the Mintaka mer people. And it's like these codes would be like a gift for later, allowing the inhabitants of those planets far into the future to wake up into this unity consciousness once they accessed your codes. These energies and codes that you seeded from ancient Orion are like Trine in your Pluto, so that they can be used as an inner gift during times of challenge to tap into those unity consciousness Orion energies. Like as I felt into Mintaka, it's like in recent times, Mintaka's no longer inhabited by those mer people anymore. They're long gone, but instead is inhabited by reptilians that took over after the invasion of Mintaka. And these energies that you seeded do influence the reptilian collective, whether they're aware of it or not.
They have to, don't they? There is an
Yeah.
influence whether they want it or are conscious.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
it exists. Yeah, I feel that. And I was told along quite a few years ago about just having a mermaid connection. I didn't explore it or anything, but I just knew it. I just knew, just felt it. You know, you just sometimes just know these things. So that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, yeah, it makes sense.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. And from here on in, I'm going to delve into your connections to money and success, and particularly
Mm.
when you came into Orion as well, because this part is very important. So in your chart, your moon is in Leo house 2, so the moon being the seat of your emotions, and your emotions are heavily tied to your finances and resources. So you can have like a tendency to seek security through acquiring resources and money flow. So while this can be positive in some aspects, as you have inner resources to adapt to sudden changes in money flow, you can become very good at financial planning. There can also be shadow aspects to this as well, such as if your money flow is threatened, then you can become like emotionally reactive. So
I
that's
have
just something to
experienced that.
deal with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is something that's already happened. I've had very,
Mm,
just very, painful, very painful experiences around that.
mm,
Where like it affected me so deeply, where, wasn't sleeping, was highly
mm,
stressed, like really, really shadow stuff coming up, very heavy. And I've been doing a lot of healing on that over the years. So I feel like I'm in a very different place now. Hence,
mm,
like there's more stability, like money flows different now. It's like there's a trust there, and it feels like very cleaned up. So yeah, that's very much resonant of years before, like really would have been like one of my most challenging areas. Yeah. So I
mm.
really feel people's pain on that now. So I can really,
Yeah.
I feel for people because I know what that feels like. It's like your stability isn't there,
Mm.
which is
Good,
quite
because
scary. Yeah.
money is literally tied to your emotions in your chart. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
one
I
of the
feel it very
same. Yeah.
deeply. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Mm. So the galactic connections here that are the most important to understand your relationship to money include the assistance from the Arcturians and Speakins who are always present in your life, waiting to assist. So, as I said before, I guess those influences are both sextile your moon. So, be prepared to receive help from these beings in the way of understanding how to allow money flow into your life. And
Mhm.
you can allow
Yeah.
these beings to help you understand if you ever become reactive to your money, if your money flow is threatened or you face financial difficulties, then they can be there to assist. So they will
Yeah.
always be there to assist you with spiritual financial education, but to also send the right people, opportunities, and connections to your life in order to work with others or educate yourself enough to the point of where you can achieve a great deal of financial freedom.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're already doing that. They're already, we're doing a lot of like, I've been doing a lot of learnings, teachings the last few years, and then pouring that into the money membership that I have. And yeah, just taking everything that I know and putting it in a place so that you can then pass it to others, because that's really important as well. Like not because again, I always feel like if I've experienced something, it's
Mm,
so that it also helps me teach it. It's a very big
mm,
part of, I don't just experience things for nothing. I'll
mm,
always like use it in
mm,
some way. It doesn't go to waste. So yeah, so I'm in a way now I can say I'm glad for all those challenges. Like I couldn't see
mm,
it at the time.
mm,
And they told me as well, if I had just had a smooth run of it, what would I be teaching now? A completely different way.
mm,
So those experiences have helped me tap into like all the nuances and the levels and the bullshit and the stuff like to really
yeah.
understand how to do it. So I'm thankful now. It's just I wouldn't have said that a few years ago. I'd
Yeah,
have gone,
absolutely.
take this away from me. Um, yeah, so that's it's interesting. It's actually in my chart. Yeah, yeah, because it's such a
Yes.
big piece of it.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
such a big piece. So not only do you have these gifts from Arcturus, but lifetimes within Orion actually here too prepared you for understanding all about money and resource flow,
Mm.
as there are many challenges in relation to money within Orion and also many opportunities for learning. So you have gifts from here too, which is quite interesting.
Mm.
So lifetimes within Orion, particularly Bellatrix, can provide the greatest learning in galactic lifetimes to do with money and success. I've found that one out very
Hmm.
much firsthand. And as
Oh
you do
yeah, yeah,
experience lifetimes here actually as well, you have a connection here which provided soul gifts for you in understanding how to become successful with your finances.
yeah.
These energies from Orion are also assisting you right now with understanding the money system on Earth because it's pretty much
Hmm.
identical.
Mm.
As you've already dealt with this before, so understanding these lifetimes and how you've dealt with success in these cutthroat sort of cyberpunk cities of Bellatrix Orion and created wealth there can assist you to understand how to navigate life on Earth. So this can actually be like a gift that can be
Yeah.
applied to your understanding. So not only the Arcturian energies and the speaking energies, but also the Orion energies, like those very cutthroat sort of energies that you've already dealt with that.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was quite interesting there in
Yes.
Orion with all of this.
Yes. Yes.
It's definitely a great place to go and learn, like get yourself immersed into that because you come
Yes.
out with all of these learnings and like you'll never forget them, you know. So that's a great training ground,
Yes, it is a
Orion.
great training ground.
Yeah.
So, like,
Wow.
it's like like understanding that can assist you to understand how to navigate life on Earth, particularly in the digital high technology era, as
Mm.
that more of those timelines come in and money's more connected to that,
Yeah.
then we are connecting more with those Orion timelines. And these are something that you can choose to channel or explore later on, especially if you wish to tap into the gifts that you learned from this place.
Yes, I was thinking this last night. I started getting an awareness of, oh, we're going to have some challenge. And
Mm,
it's like I'm going to help people navigate this around money, something to do with technology, the changes and resources and all of this. Like this was floating around last night. So that's really interesting, yeah, that you've said
mm,
that because there's more to come on that. And I feel
yeah.
like I'm equipped and it'll activate when it needs to
It'll
fully, but
activate when it
I'm
needs to.
sort of circling it now. Yeah, I get it. I understand that. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. Mm.
yeah. So when you tap into that at a later stage, yeah, you'll know, you'll be very
Yeah,
familiar
yeah.
with those energies because it's like almost like money and like AI technology just merged into this one sort of thing. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
much
And it's
connected to that, very
stuffed.
futuristic.
Yeah, there's stuff to be aware of and all of that. So it's going to be very juicy.
Yes. Yeah.
Very
Going to be
juicy
very
area.
juicy. So the life path of your soul journey is like often it's like the north node. So the north node can be like referred to as the head of the dragon. This is where you're headed on your soul path, in your life path to explore in this lifetime. And your north node aligns with Leo in the second house towards money and resource flow, actually. Your life path aligns with that. So, towards that money, resource flow, and inner strength, and the dragon in your chart is moving away from the south node in Aquarius in house 8. So, your past life karmic influences that you've already learned as a soul to do with death and endings, the realm of the underworld, and understanding darkness and sexual energies. In particular, I feel strongly that I felt into those energies where what you've already learned and what you're already moving away from is understanding, I guess, that oppressive shadow and darkness that's pervaded our galaxy for a long time. It's like you're moving away from this and towards the realm of money and resources in this lifetime, having already dealt with and conquered these great challenges within your soul history.
Mm. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Mm. So as I was tapping into like your north node and south node, it was like you had like lifetimes within Rigel, Orion. So those sort of big, sort of bug-eyed elf-like beings with the big dark eyes. Um, like your life, you had like a connection, a couple of connections there. So your lifetimes that you spent in Rigel were like an inner soul gift that you developed from this place in your past soul history to do with where your soul path is headed towards that head of the dragon in the north node. So the beings from Rigel were residing in a very difficult place, like in the territory of like the Draco Reptilian Empire, and they learned to be able to hold their own there, despite how difficult it was with their people and resources constantly being taken and under attack. So it was like
Mm.
here that you developed some gifts of how to help you along your soul path. And even this is connected with assisting with your part of fortune in your chart. So your part of fortune is where you can experience fortune opportunities in your chart. So Rigel is trine your north node and south node, but also trines your part of fortune, the point in the birth chart where you can find happiness, spirit, and prosperity. And as I delved deeply into this, what I discovered was when I connected to that, this was like a part of your soul mission on the earth very, very long ago. You had like a Rigelian lifetime. So you visited Earth as a Rigelian being. This is what I saw. So after the fall of Atlantis, there was like a negative extraterrestrial involvement with Earth. They really came in hard. They
Mm.
just, went in and attacked after Atlantis fell. And it was like, after you had your lifetime in Atlantis, chronologically, it was like you came in as an ET helper after this, after it all went down. So after the fall of Atlantis, that's when the reptilian and negative Orion groups tried to take control of the Earth at this time. This is what I felt into for, this particular timeline. And while the people were in this panic state after the fall of Atlantis, and after the Syrians had set up these stations in Egypt to help with the earth, there was like this invasion of the earth by the darker forces and like this war that was happening on the surface of the earth. So I guess thinking about like some of those ancient stories about like, the wars of the gods and, all of this stuff going
Yeah.
on. That was what was happening on the earth. It was very, very chaotic at that time. So at the time, the Ragelians and other galactic races that were working with the Galactic Federation were sent in with their advanced technology to try and stop the situation and stop like the Dark Ones from taking over completely of the Earth. So I saw that you arrived with this group after your Atlantis lifetime. It's like you were a Rigelian male that had to shave his head off, the hair off his head, not his head off, the hair off the top of his head to fit into these suits. Like I saw that he was like bald to protect against like radiation that the Earth was experiencing on the surface war at this time to fit into these suits. So like one of my clients actually had a very similar lifetime within the same group that was sent to Earth, where he sort of had to experience this lifetime as like a Rigelian being that shaved off his head to fit into these suits that would help with the radiation that the Earth was experiencing at this time. So I saw that you were also part of this group, which was very surprising for me. So I might link that to you later on that particular lifetime
Yeah.
that he experienced.
Yeah, yeah. That'll be interesting. Very interesting.
So part of your job that you were trained to assist with the confused and scared humans that were freaking out about after all that had been happening on the earth. So it's like you were specially trained to come and assist, like, these humans that were so confused. Like you all had
Mm.
different sort of training and I guess this was part of your early sort of Earth journey was as an ET visitor helping humans navigate these changes. And I saw like another thing that you're also helping to purify these drinking water holes that had been poisoned by the darker forces and letting humans know to stay away from the poisoned water. Just sort of this sort of thing where you were just
Yeah.
like, stay away from that area, you know, move
Yeah.
away from there. It's not safe. And the humans were so confused because everything that they
Yeah.
knew was just collapsing.
Well, it's kind of reminiscent, isn't it, of like what's happening
Yeah, it
now,
is
I would say.
reminiscent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this operation to liberate Earth, it's like it went on for quite some time. And I saw that you were unhappy with progress. And it's like later on you petitioned the Galactic Federation to assist more by sending more resources so that the humans could be helped. So this ended up being successful. It was like I saw you in front of this big council, and then you were like, all of this stuff's happening on the ground. We need more resources. Can you like, and explained your situation. Like, I've been
Yeah.
there on the ground and I've seen all of this. Can
Mm.
you please send more resources our way?
That feels like me. It
Yeah,
really does. I could
yeah.
do that.
Yes, and it was successful in your speech communicating all that you'd experienced on the ground, and with that diplomatic persuasion, ensured that more resources were sent to help Earth. And the lesson with this particular lifetime is why I was, shown this as part of your reading, is that you have this gift, particularly with negotiating the delivery of resources and money flow that can be sent to help assist your cause.
Yes, this is what I want to do. This is exactly because this is how I've always seen it, is I want to create wealth and prosperity in
Mm,
my life to support what I'm doing, but also because I know that the mission, it's not like I actually posted about this yesterday. It was a message about it isn't money just for money's sake. It's to do with fuel for the
mm,
mission because you have to have it on this planet. We can't really do it without. But what I've always seen it as once I'm in at that point and I have resources and I will start to build things and flow money to structures and systems that need cleaning up here, restoring, building, creating. But also I can't do it alone. So it would be I
mm.
kind of could see it where I'm connecting to other people who are wealthy or influential, and then actually almost like putting a case towards these people to to
Yeah.
encourage them to where do you because a lot of people have money and they don't even know what to do with it. Like
Yes.
I remember watching this episode of something, Secret Millionaire or something, and there were rich people were or wealthy people that they were like bored. And
Mm,
I was thinking, my God, you could use your money with a bit of creativity and imagination and
mm.
mission. You could flow that money. So I feel very strongly that I want to help
Yes. It's
gather
like you have that
people.
gift. You
Yes,
have
I
that
do. And
gift to be able to
yeah, yeah.
negotiate.
Negotiate and lay it out so that they can see what it is and what it's going to do and sort of speak that into existence somehow. So I feel
Mm,
really fired up hearing you say that because that's what
mm,
I've always felt. Yeah, and I
mm.
love that it's in the chart. Like
Yes.
it's got
Yes.
got weight behind it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's got weight behind it. And as I connected into it, there
Yeah.
was that Ragellian lifetime. So if you connect into that, then, it's like you're going
Yeah.
to receive those gifts of how to, because you've done it all
Yeah.
before, of how to
Yeah.
negotiate, more resources to help the earth like you did
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, exactly. Love that.
Mm, mm. And then we go on to, I went on to your connections to AI and the soul mission around the
Mm.
digital control systems. So
Please, because I'm so connected to it and I still don't fully understand what is my problem.
yeah, so I didn't look in the records to do with this, but I felt
Yeah,
into
yeah,
it very, very strongly. So I feel like maybe this is something that you can explore later on as
yeah,
well. And this is to do with like Algorab in your chart from the Corvus constellation. So I thought it would be very fitting to include this in your reading as we've already delved into this in, I guess, one of my sessions before and discovered like that story that occurred here in Algorab in regards to the history of the AI within our galaxy, in particularly the AI control systems. So the beings
yeah,
from Algorab, they were those horned reptilian humanoids with pale skin. It was like they were part of the Draco reptilian empire and part of a digital AI takeover that came to their planet. And I felt into it strongly. I'm like, oh yeah, she's
Mm.
definitely been in this before. And then I looked on your chart and it was there. It was like conjunct.
Right. That makes more sense.
Yes, definitely there. So it was like, they were part of this digital AI takeover and until that violent uprising against the AI control system that just rocked their world. It just basically destroyed a lot of their systems and structures. It was so violent. So as I was looking into the fixed star Algorab, it was like interpreted in olden times as, I guess, like a very destructive force, having destructive energies, but also having like themes of hidden knowledge, transformation, and secrets. So this very much fits, I guess, with what I experienced when I looked into that lifetime and the history of that star system to be about, with the theme of having to rise up and destroy the AI control system and transform the planet. So as I looked into this and felt strongly into those energies, knowing that you were definitely here too at this time, having lifetimes here to understand how to best deal with the AI. So this was conjunct to Lilith in your chart, an asteroid, and parts of our chart representing like that shadow element conjunct with Algorab and Libra in house 4. So Libra's being all about bringing fairness and balance to a situation, and the fourth house representing that very, very deep personal emotions about the AI as well, which you have.
I definitely have. Sometimes I'm like reflecting, going, why do you have to feel this so deeply? You could just like let it go
Yeah.
and post and move on. And I do. I spend a lot of time reflecting and I'm observing what's going on out there, and I'm not like overdoing it, but I'm definitely plugged into it, and it's yeah. So it's there's a history, obviously.
There's a big
Definitely.
history here, and you can choose to delve
Mm.
into it later on. And you had lifetimes here during the AI takeover where you felt very strongly about what was happening on that planet. Very, very strongly, relating to your life path right now to do with how you feel about AI and digital control. It's all about how you feel about this. And that
Yeah,
comes from, there's a resonance from these lifetimes as well. So you
yeah,
experienced that quite literally here and strongly wanted that fairness, so much so that you may have even had to dip into your shadow side in order to make this fair. So many beings here had to do that. It seems that there was no choice given to them. It was like become controlled by the AI or die. And many
yeah.
of the beings chose complete and total destruction and revolution over being controlled by those systems.
Mm. Yeah, and I've had an experience where I was overtaken by the AI under hypnosis. I had that, I was in the body and it was like a deception where the human was told certain things. And I sort of experienced it from that angle where I
Mm,
know that's not what it says on the tin, that's not what it's doing. It is
mm,
detrimental. And then I've also, as you've said, experienced it on the other side. Um, yeah, because I've a lot of feeling is connected there for me.
mm,
Yeah, yeah,
mm. And those energies can also act as a gift to you in your Mars placement that represents your fiery motivation and determination, as you can find yourself very moved to action and called to your soul mission by these themes of the AI and digital control. And from
yeah,
these lifetimes, you can actually bring those inner soul gifts and wisdom, having lived through those experiences, and use this to transform the energies of the world around you. So this is
mm,
also something that you can channel and bring through or tap into in case you become quite confronted in the future about what you see playing out in the world. You can tap into those energies of what you
yeah,
experienced in Algorab to
yeah.
remind
Because I find,
yourself, yeah,
yes, sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
to remind yourself that you have already conquered this part of your soul mission in this galaxy and you can do it again.
Yeah, because I find myself getting I almost brace myself because I've had almost a word with myself to say, okay, and my Arcturian team have told me as well that you will see, even though you are creating a higher timeline and it is inevitable, we
Mm,
are going to ascend, but there is that you will be seeing remnants of things that you remember and you will be seeing echoes and there will be an element of people choosing bullshit things, right? That it will be very
mm,
painful for me to see because I find it very sad when a human will just give over their genetic integrity, their sovereignty, like willingly give it over. I find that very challenging to look at, but I understand even just from what you've said here that that's because I've had the experience. But it also
yeah.
is what gives me the training and the knowledge to assist, which is what I'm going to focus on. So not to focus on
Mm,
those bits, but to try and help people navigate it and be aware,
mm,
uh, because that
yeah.
really means everything to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So as you tap into those energies, it's like you can be like, just have those gifts returned to you again on how
Yeah.
to deal with it, even if it was like, very, very extreme and yeah, it
Yeah.
was it was like a very, very destructive outcome to the AI control system. Those beings really said nope, but they said that
Yeah.
in a very, very strong way, and it was like everything was almost destroyed, and then they had to start over.
Hmm. Yeah, so we're going to just see remnants, but positives as well here,
Mm,
because I think
mm,
people are more conscious now,
mm.
thankfully. So yeah, yeah, interesting. That's definitely could be an interesting aspect, right, going
Yeah.
forwards.
An
Mm.
interesting aspect of you. Yeah, absolutely. So from there, I sort of delved into like your connections to like your family as well. And so this was really sweet. So you have like connections through the Hadarian beings. So the elf-like beings that live in those snail shell type of houses.
Yeah, I think so. I think I remember one of your posts. I have to go back and
Yeah,
look, but yeah, I think so.
yeah,
Yeah, they're really
yeah,
sweet, kind of like
yeah, they're
looking ones.
lovely. They're
Yeah, yeah,
lovely.
yeah,
Yeah. So you have like a conjunction to Hadar in Uranus. So that represents like our originality and unconventionality and tells us all of the areas where we break conventions. So Uranus is in the fifth house in your chart, suggesting that you have unconventional creative abilities and even a less traditional, unconventional relationship with, your child who's like a friend to you. And you may also
Yes.
very enjoy and value your child valuing her own autonomy. As Hadar is conjuncting your chart in this area, it's like you have a strong connection to Hadar and the Hadarian beings that are like these very loving beings that look like these tall elf-like humanoids with those big dark eyes that have this strong desire to help others and a connection to the sacred structures of life itself.
Oh, I love those. Yeah, because I felt like a lot of love off those beings when I think I read it from your post, and I'd never heard of them before, but there was like a familiarity. So I feel like a lot of warmth when you talk about those beings. But yeah, with my daughter, we're very, very like we're like best friends. Like now she's an adult, she's we're really connected. We want to create things together, and there's a
Mm,
really, really like unique relationship that we have. It's like amazing actually. So very,
mm.
very grateful for that in
Yeah,
this life.
so I sort of
Yeah.
connected with this, and it was like I got like a strong yes that you have like a connection to your daughter through these lifetimes as these loving Hadarian beings.
Mm.
So that's where
Yeah.
that comes from as well.
Ah, I love that.
So you had like a relationship with each other and knew each other back even back then as souls. So through these lifetimes and connections to Hadar, you can bring like a lot of love into this world, and remembering your lifetimes in Hadar together will strengthen that connection and love that you have for each other.
Yeah.
And it's like as I felt into this, it's like that love was like so strong that it will be very, very activating once you tap into that and remember what it was like almost like feeling to the point of like tears coming down your face, or like a
Yeah.
reverberation of love coming out of your chest when you tap into it. It's like
Oh,
so profound.
yeah.
This love as you feel into that,
Yeah.
you feel it on such a massive level.
Oh, I love that. That's something to look forward to, like, really when you feel it
Mm,
in your body. Because we're kind of edging around remembering things because she's going through a huge,
mm,
magical like transformations and everything. And we're always on the sort of similar path, even though we're
mm.
like obviously different levels, ages, but we're always like weirdly in sync with
Mm,
life and what we're looking at. It's really interesting. We've both noticed it. So yeah, there'll be more to come, I think, as we start
yeah.
to remember, because she's remembering herself now being on different timelines and working in different ways. So it's sort of
Mm,
waking up for her as well. Yeah.
mm. Yeah, and
Oh, I
when
love
I
that.
brought these energies through the first time, it was like connecting to a parallel part of myself, and it was like I couldn't stop crying because
Oh,
those beings were just, it was like there was so much love coming
yeah.
from those beings, like coming from those energies that are just like it's like my body couldn't contain it all. Like
Yeah.
I was like literally just, my
Yeah.
face was soaked as I was,
Yeah.
channeling this aspect of myself. It was
Yeah.
like
It's
so profound.
Yeah, it's like really in the body because I've had that when I brought through first the Arcturians. I had
Mm,
to cry when I first connected. Like I'm stabilized with the energy now, but initially it was almost like an overload for the body in a good way. And the same
mm,
with the angelic realm. And I had tears with the dragon energy as well because it's so it's the frequency you're feeling and it's amazing, isn't it? And it's so loving and it makes you cry, but in a lovely
mm,
way. But it's a lot.
mm,
It's a lot to hold as well. But it's beautiful.
mm, mm.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful. And so I tapped into like one of your past lives in the records when I tapped into this, and I saw that you were like a Hadarian woman involved with like very beautiful, like almost like geometric light magic. So, like creational energies that could change and influence the universe and different timelines. And like I saw, like you astral projecting to all of these other places to teach other benevolent beings and assist with the energies. And you could access this very ancient wisdom from deep within your soul, connecting to the all that is. And you could visualize and illustrate like the geometric light magic, all of the colors and the shapes and patterns that would activate certain ancient light codes, I guess.
Mm.
And I saw you making like an image of like a spiral with like radial lines coming out. And it was like you made the spiral 3D, and as you shifted it on its side, it's like you could, it was almost like it was like a template of like creation, light, and expansion, like something like source light from going from like little to like becoming bigger and radiating outwards. It was like this symbol, but also like a very deep geometric informational code. It was layers and layers of meaning in these like geometric codes that you were creating. It was very interesting. Like it had so many different, like this spiral, but with like radial lines coming out. So it had like, yeah,
I've
very
seen that in
interesting.
my mind's eye. Yeah, because I don't paint or anything, but I had this draw to paint. I had like a pull
Mm,
towards paint, and
mm,
I kept seeing. I was like, what would I paint? Because I'm not a very good painter. And I was
mm,
like, but I'm not going to paint like things, but
mm,
it's more spirals and lights, and I couldn't quite
mm.
grasp it. But the way you've just described it is very much that. I sort of see it in my mind's eye. I don't know if my hand can actually translate that, if I have that skill in this body. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But I see that. I can see that. So I know
Mm.
exactly what you're talking about there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
the spiral. So I saw
Yeah.
you making that spiral and almost making it 3D, and it had all of these layers of meaning to it. I also saw you like making patterns. It was like colors and then mixed with shapes. It was like high vibrational sort of colors and shapes like mixed together with all of these different sort of layers. And yeah, it was really interesting. And it was like you were making patterns that looked like iridescent, like diamond shaped tiles, like lots of patterns and shapes that had all of this profound meaning to it. And you had your connection with your daughter in this life. And and as your daughter in that life, it's like she learns the same thing that you learned. And I saw like you holding her head and giving all of this light and love to the top of her head, like, this. Yeah.
Ah, I love that. I do. I feel that.
Mm,
Really, really nice.
mm,
Yeah. Ah, I love
yeah.
that. I'm just gonna sit with that, just let that float because yeah, it just feels very familiar as you're saying that.
Mm, yeah.
Mm.
I love those beings. Yeah. So if you further on down the line, if you feel like connecting with them, like you can bring in
Yeah.
like there's different gifts from those lifetimes, those aspects of you. Mm,
So nice. Yeah. I think
mm.
I'll make a list of all the things I want to connect with so I just have it for later because
Yeah.
not all in one, but just
Yeah.
so
Just
I can come back to it. Yeah.
just little bit by little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Because you've got loads on your chart, and this is like, I've only touched like a few
God.
things.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So, like your most recent galactic lifetimes as well that you've had on your soul journey before coming to Earth includes like your current parallel lifetime in Arcturus, where you channel all the time in your work. But also, if you feel called to explore it, you've had those lifetimes as a speaking being in that parallel aspect of yourself that you're going to go and connect with today because
Today.
it's exciting.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, there's lifetimes within Bellatrix Orion where you learnt about money, and there's lifetimes within Hadar where there's
Mm.
there's like a little bit of a square in your chart in Hadar, so there may have been like some challenges with bringing through your that love in this
Mm.
particular lifetime. They had somewhat of a very difficult like sort of history where they got attacked as well, these very loving beings. And it was like, because I had Hadar squared in my chart, and when I like tapped into it, it was very sad. It was like there was like a bigger Hadarian sort of planet with different sort of beings, and then there was the smaller ones with those elf beings living in the snail shells. The bigger planet, it looked to be completely destroyed, and then the smaller planet was attacked and about to be destroyed as well. But it was like the Arcturians actually come in and actually saved them before the planet was completely destroyed, because they were like, no, no, no way, no way, we're not having these
Yeah.
beings becoming extinct, because, the Draco and reptilians don't like them because they put out too much love. We're
Yeah.
not letting that happen. So I saw, as the Arcturians come in, and they sort of saved those beings from, like, their planet from becoming completely destroyed, and helped the ones that needed to be helped, and passed on the ones that needed to be passed on in these ships. And yeah, and it was this very
Yeah.
big, it was very, very sad. There was a lot of beings that died, but the Arcturians, stepped in to try and help
Yeah.
that.
Because there seems to be intervention, doesn't there? It's like there's free
Mm.
will, so sometimes things have to play out. But there seems to be
Mm.
in the galactic history, there's a limit. There's a limit where
There's a
you
limit.
can't now go and do this. So
Mm.
there's things that happen that maybe we don't quite understand, but there's a limit, and then there'll be intervention
Mm.
when required, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember in that small snippet of the lifetime that I had, I passed in the body because I was like burnt all over. It was very, very sad because, yeah, these Arcturian beings were like around me in their ship and just assisting me to do that, and assisting all of the other beings. It was like they put all of this water into the atmosphere to stop all of the fires on that planet. And then they were like,
Right.
no, we're not going to have that happen. We're going to
Yeah,
save
yeah.
these beings. So it's like the Arcturians intervened to help them.
Yeah, which I love.
Mm.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
Yeah, that's what they
Yeah.
do. Yeah, they
Mm,
came in to help them.
brilliant.
Mm.
Mm,
So also, like, you have like recent lifetimes as the Pleiadians as well, and they can also appear as a gift for you as these beings, and their energies are also assisting you at this time. So before you had these recent experiences on Earth, it's like you spent some time amongst other human civilizations, such as the Pleiadians and the Alpha Centaurians. They're
mm,
basically like, a different form of humans, like a different colony of
right.
humans that's like, next door to Earth. So it's
Right.
like you had, experiences in these other human bodies as well. And you can choose
Mm,
to integrate these higher dimensional human experiences at any time that you choose in your journey.
mm. So it's like
Mm.
they're all there, just waiting to
Yeah.
tap into at the right time, at the right stage. And then you
Yeah.
can just because I feel like I'm just integrating every year. Every few
Yeah.
months, I'm like integrating another level, piece,
Another bit.
aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another
This
piece,
this is
like, and it's
this is like a whole
constant
list of
now.
integrations.
Yeah. But it's starting to get a bit quicker now. I've noticed like the first few years they went quite slow with me,
Mm.
with the Arcturians, the Angelics, because that was quite a lot of energy. And then the
Mm.
dragons have come in now, and I've had other aspects. I've had the Atlantis remembering this year, and now like the Speaker coming in today. And it's like I can feel, when you're in a certain frequency, it can move very fast because you
Mm.
can hold it. So I'm just rolling with it now. Because I don't know where
Mm.
I'll be in 6 months with all of this. It's
Yeah.
like it's constantly growing, but I love it.
Mm.
I'm loving it.
Mm.
I'm loving this whole
Mm.
journey.
Mm. It
Yeah.
is very interesting.
Yeah.
And you also had very recent lifetimes within the star systems of the Andromeda constellation. So amongst like the blue, like they sort of look like blue
Mm.
humans from Merak and Tidawin. So this civilization descended from the Lyran humanoids as they escaped Lyra, and they found themselves amongst the Andromedan constellation. So they're very much freedom-loving beings, and their energy is a different one altogether. They're very hippie-like in a freedom sort of
Right.
sense. I don't know how else to describe them. I love them, but yeah,
Yeah.
they're very hippie-ish. Yeah,
Right.
in a
Yeah.
good way,
Yeah, like we'd
in a very
recognize
positive
that.
way.
Yeah, we'd
Yeah,
recognize that kind of energy from here, like in other eras, sort of thing. Yeah,
yeah,
I know what
yeah.
you mean.
Free loving. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So they're very much freedom-loving beings that chose to go against the controlling energies of the Draco Reptilian Empire. As a result of that, they suffered more attacks and invasions. But in recent lifetimes, it's like you did have like a bit of a challenge in the Merak star system, as indicated by like a square in your chart in the area of your ascendant. So very much related to your archetype and how you are perceived. So that can be something that you can delve into later on if you wish. but the energies of Titawin in which is the other Andromedan star where the blue people reside, is opposite your sun, so it's closely tied to your deepest emotions. So this is an energy from Andromeda, perhaps that freedom, adventure, the benefits of like benevolent technological advancements and that unconditional love that you felt as you could not express that very early on in your Earth life. So perhaps as a child, the Earth seemed quite harsh and controlling and very primitive in comparison to these high Andromedan energies, like a very recent lifetime. But as you grow older and you grow more in touch with these Andromedan energies, you can learn how to embody them in this lifetime. So that's something that you can, embody, like the more you grow into it.
Yeah, over time, because it is very harsh here. I'm very aware of it feeling very, very harsh. It's quite a hard place to be, isn't it? Earth. And it does, sometimes it makes you have to like harden up to almost cope with it. Whereas you don't want to do that. Like you want to have an open heart. So that's what I'm practicing. One of the things I'm doing is learning how to, when I feel hurt or I feel upset by or annoyed, at something, how to not harden the heart, how to hold that, like that's not okay, but how to keep the heart open, which I'm really trying to practice. So I hope as I get older through the years that will become better and better, because it's definitely a work in progress. It's hard because you want to close up, don't you? When something comes at
because like
you.
somebody attacks you and it's just
Yeah.
a realm of like thorns and attacking, but I just
Yeah.
there's a part of me that's just like I just want to be friends with everybody.
Yeah, that's exactly how I am. Like, I just want to love everybody. Can we all just
Yeah.
love each other? And
Yeah.
then you don't want to
Yeah.
sound like a
Yeah.
hippie, but maybe that's what we all need to sound like, And I'm so aware of like that's a big part of me. Like, makes me very sad when people don't get along. Like, it really
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Like, even if someone says an unkind thing on social media, it doesn't have to be terrible, but it does. I feel it like more
Yeah.
deeply than I'd maybe let on. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, ouch. Like, I'm very
Yeah.
sensitive to that. And I just want everybody to love each other, really. That's what I'd
Yeah.
like.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's what
Yeah.
I'm like as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you can tap into those energies and that they can, help you develop that as well.
Yeah.
So yes, I guess we're going to wrap up this now and like the insights around your chart. So the gifts around money, flow, and resources related to those lifetimes within Orion, your deep connections to the Arcturians and the Speakons as well. Very,
Yeah.
very deep connections there, and your connections on how to deal with those AI control systems that's part of your lifetimes in Algorab and connections to love and Christ consciousness and embodying the energies from Hader and your daughter's connection to that as well. And the soul gifts to do with the golden yellow ray energies, the illumination, wisdom, and Christ consciousness. And I just like at the end, I sort of picked like a card for you and as to what dragon energies would benefit your mission and life most at the moment. And it was like those golden orange dragons that can expand your light for ascension. So these dragons can accelerate your ascension journey and pour high frequencies into your aura. And you can call on them for support, particularly during these massive solar ascension upgrades on our planet that are happening right now. These golden orange dragons can assist you with that. So yeah, and that's all.
That's all.
That's all.
Wow, thank you. That's amazing. And God, it gives new meaning to the phrase, like the Arcturians are always saying, you've been training for this for lifetimes. They say it to me, I channel it for other people, and it's like we don't realize how true that is. Like we might think, oh yeah, we've had a lifetime before where it's like we've had such an experience. There's only like there's unlimited experiences that we've had, right? So this is really like brings it home that, oh wow, there's been just in what you've shared here, there's so many lifetimes where I've been practicing this and training and having this experience and then bringing all of that into now, which is why I always believe that we know more than we realize.
Oh,